I just want to take my few moments, if you all don't mind. We're going to work on these issues, and I will champion them. But I just want to say a lot of my farmers in New Jersey and across the country are just struggling right now with an immediate crisis, which is the illegal funding freeze that has been imposed on thousands of USDA contracts. I'm getting calls and emails from farmers all across my state, from all different political perspectives, that are just saying, why are we investing money on farms for things like planting cover crops or installing irrigation systems, but now those farmers are not receiving their reimbursements? They outlaid cash, and they're now in a crisis. For many farmers, this is tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars that the USDA is now stiffing them on. And for some of these farmers, they're saying that if they're not able to move forward with their spring planting and are ultimately at risk for losing their farms in foreclosure because of what the USDA is doing to them, it will be catastrophic. These reimbursement payments and signed contracts with farmers that have been frozen, this is wrong. The USDA has also frozen their reimbursements to nonprofits and small businesses who provide critical assistance to farmers. In Jersey, we have nonprofits and small businesses who give this kind of technical assistance. They too are in crisis. There are also groups who help farmers implement conservation practices that we supported in a bipartisan way, and there are groups helping those farmers that are now facing this crisis. All of these nonprofits and small businesses have signed contracts with the USDA to provide these services. They've laid out money in reliance upon them, and now they're being, excuse my language, Mr. Chairman, they're being screwed. This is wrong. And it's hurting people, and it's a self-inflicted wound that's got to stop. It is killing me that we're now seeing people in my state, farmers that are laying off staff, that they're not getting the help they deserve, and they're not doing their innovations that are going to help them be better stewards of the land because they know how to supply the land. That's why a lot of these conservation programs have been so oversubscribed. It's outrageous and it's illegal. Multiple federal courts have instructed the administration to lift these bans lift these broad freezes, but the USDA is ignoring the court orders and intentionally causing serious harm to farmers across our country. On top of all that, the USDA has fired many of the local level staff who farmers rely upon and who would be helping the farmers to navigate this crisis. I know Secretary Rollins. I voted for Secretary Rollins. We need help. If the USDA does not immediately release the funding to our farmers, I hope this committee will quickly bring her back here to explain to us why. Every day that we wait, we're already in a farming crisis in this country. We're already losing thousands of independent family farmers. And this is outrageous. At a time that we have other issues we should be dealing with, we're right now dealing with this crisis. And I just want to say one more thing on another subject, because I know I'm not going to be here for the next panel, but I know Prop 12 is going to be brought up, and I just want to say my piece for 10, 20 seconds. I'm concerned that there is no witness here today to speak for the independent family farmers who support Prop 12. The National Pork Producer Council does not represent all of the hog farmers in the country. They may speak for the big producers. They may align with the biggest multinational corporations, but they do not represent our smaller independent hog farmers. In fact, a large group of those independent farmers filed a brief with the Supreme Court for Prop 12, arguing that Prop 12 helped them by creating new markets for their products and allowing them to better compete with the big vertically integrated meat packers like Smithfield. I didn't vote for Justice Gorsuch, but here's his brief. In his Supreme Court decision upholding Prop 12, Justice Gorsuch cited directly these independent hog farmers and cattle farmers in our country. I'd like to ask unanimous consent to enter the brief for these independent family farmers.
Without objection.
Mr. Chairman and Mr. Justice, if you want to know where I'm going to stand, it is for small, mid-sized, independent family farmers. You started your statement by talking about the average farm in our country. But these entrepreneurs, these folks have been devastated in the last decade. We're losing thousands of farmers. I've sat with them from the Midwest to around my state. This is a crisis being made worse right now by the USDA, but I'm hoping that we can work together to solve some of these problems. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.